to this crowd. 4,502 strong, standing room only. Face-off with the Nanook net empty.
You don't want to be the team that loses the streak, right? So it's extremely important. We always emphasize it every year. We were 1-1-1. There was a little bit of, I'd say, misunderstanding with the shootout loss. I mean, I think we thought it was going down as a tie. Obviously, it didn't end up going that way. Took it as a loss. So, yeah, I mean, we were going down into the upcoming weekend, and I mean, there's a lot on the line, obviously.
It's depth on the drop, just have as much speed as possible. We should be able to get in with clean entries as long as we're creating that separation there for ourselves.
That's probably
Yeah, obviously in like the back of your mind, maybe there's a little bit of anxiety, but we've had it for the last however many years, and we take a lot of pride in that. I mean, we're not just playing for the team, we're playing for our community. And I think a lot of guys understand that. So it's not just another game. We understand how big these games are coming up. Coach Archon does a really good job of preparing us and letting us know just how important these games are.
And I think the important thing is, and one, like I've heard before, right, is talking about, like, I've got your six, like I've got your back, right? And that's it, right? That's the ultimate trust, okay? You got to trust that guy in the locker room tonight. Everybody should know when they look across or to the side, they've got your back. And you got to know that. That's the ultimate trust. That's playing for one another. We have to have that. Tonight's going to be a trench game. Do you want the guy with you and sitting next to you in the trench? Do you? This is our team. This is our group, all right? We win the trenches. We win the battle, right? And when this Governor's Cup's done, we'll win that war too, right? Let's go, Captain. Lead the way. Here you go.
Game 4, first game back of the Carlson against Anchorage. Everything could have changed, but we were extremely ready for it.
Okay, just first off, overall in the period, right? It was too slow at times early on, okay? It's got to be quicker. If the play allows for you to hit that guy, hit that guy. Overall, though, guys, way better job in that last 7 or 8 minutes. So now let's do that for 20, all right? Have our foundation and keep building off of it, right? So 4-on-4 here to be able to start. Coaches will get the lines out there. Let's execute here, and let's keep building on this lead. Let's go.
The Nanooks are in the lead with a score of 2-1. Up and down the ice they go. Who is going to want it more?
Next one takes their hearts away.
Cup action rolling on as the Seawolves clear the zone and clear the puck to center ice. But the Nanooks get it back. Caleb Dick from behind the net passes out front to the side of the net to Matt Hubbard. Hubbard shoots. Hubbard scores. The Nanooks will take a 2-goal lead as the Carlson Center crowd goes crazy. But UAA still is battling tough. This game is far from being over.
That's interference.
Action grinds into the right-hand corner as Cade Ehrenholtz battles with UAA's Jared White. To the half wall we go in another battle, this time with UAF's Caleb Dick and Gunnar Van Dam. Alaska's Betty and Nicolay finally along the boards will clear the puck out to the neutral ice area. The Seawolves again are not going away easy. Max Hagelson works out front to the side of the net, puts a shot in net, and he is denied by Lassie Letty. The man with the mask standing tall between the pipes, continuing to frustrate UAA. The fans counted down. Your final score, Nanooks 3, Seawolves 1. The best of 6 event now tied at 2-2 with 2 more games left to play.
Can we get the kid on me? Every person, who are we? Every person, who are we? We have something else to see. We have something else to see. Go see our colors, see our colors. See our colors.
It's going to be the same thing tomorrow. I thought we had a good mentality at the front of the net. There's some things to clean up. Again, I think we did what we needed to do to be able to even the series, but you know, as in any game, right, they're going to come out hungrier tomorrow night, and we got to elevate our game as well. Okay, so big thing is, like we talked about, we got to get our rest, we got to get our nutrition in, do what you need to do, and then we're ready to go tomorrow night. Okay.
Good work tonight, boys. Let's enjoy it, but let's not be satisfied. We got 2 more to win.
There's so many guys who deserve this head tonight. Big show, great goal. Buddy, great goal, but I gotta give it to my Finnish guy.
Hey, way to wear down today. Great team win. Just be ready to go tomorrow. Let's not be satisfied.
I mean, we did expect to win, especially back on home ice. So it was a fulfilling feeling, and you know, it was just another step in the right direction to get us back on track. But we had still another task to complete before we really enjoy the win.
And the hometown Nanooks getting goals off the sticks of former Fairbanks ice dog Matt Covey, the game winner from Nathan Rickey, and icing on the cake with a lamp lighter from number 39, Matt Hubbard.
The Governor's Cup is a season series that's been played between the University of Alaska Fairbanks and the University of Alaska Anchorage since 1994. To win the Alaska Airlines Governor's Cup, a team must finish the season with the better record in games played between the 2 teams.
So it's a point system where if you get a regulation win, that's 2 points, and shootout win, you also get 2 points. But if we end up losing the overtime or shootout, then it's only 1 point, and whoever has the most points will end up lifting the cup.
When you start the season, you always want to win something, win the league, and the Governor's Cup's unique because it's kind of a in-the-season championship and in-state rivalries.
The rivalry between UAF and UAA hockey, it's a huge deal. It's the biggest sporting event in Fairbanks in terms of spectators.
It's awesome scoring on home ice, but it's a different level when you score in a Governor's Cup game. I think it just gets that much louder.
Our players go out and they play their hearts out when they play UAA. And I know playing other teams, playing teams in the top 10 or the top 20 around the country, those are meaningful victories when we get them. But I think winning the Governor's Cup and winning against UAA, that's a highlight for the team.
Anytime you add a trophy into the mix, it's something more to play for.
I remember the first year that they had an alumni game between Fairbanks and Anchorage during the Governor's Cup. And Dallas Ferguson was the coach. It went to a shootout. Fairbanks had to score to win the Governor's Cup in the shootout. And Dallas puts out Colton Trinko. And I looked over at a couple of guys and I went, oh, wait a minute. Colton Trinko's a defenseman. What is he doing on the ice for a shootout? Cole gets the puck, goes down, makes a Lemieux, Gretzky move and scores, and they win. And I go, okay, this guy's been playing NHL.
We had won the Gov Cup each of the years, 3 years I was here, which was excellent, a lot of fun.
I remember I think it was my sophomore year, I got to shoot in the shootout and scored, and we actually ended up winning the Gov Cup in a shootout, so that was always a highlight of mine.
Definitely the games we circle on the calendar for the year, and I just always remember the student section. The rink's different now, but we used to come out of the other end back then, and all the students were right there, and they just used to bang on the glass, and it was packed. And the rink, I think we had like 4,500 fans. It was just something special as a player.
Just even from our off-ice warm-up, you know, there's more people in the building, more people giving us fist bumps and high fives, and then that goes into on-ice warm-up. There's more people in the stands.
I think we're really good on home ice. We have the best fans here. You know, once a puck is dropped, it's loud in there, and you're just right into it. Every little mistake is that much more emphasized, and you just have to really bear down and really make sure you're prepared during the week. That starts on Monday, just getting the right food and nutrition and sleep, just little things leading up to it. You just have to get your mind straight from Monday all the way to Friday night.
Game day in Alaska. It could be 20 degrees above zero, or it could be 40 below. Fans are coming from around the world to a city of just under 34,000 people.
It doesn't matter who's the favorite on any given year. Throw it out the window like any good rivalry. Fans want to come out. If they don't go to another game all year long, they mark down Anchorage on their calendar.
In Alaska, of course, we don't have a professional football team. We don't have a professional soccer team or basketball. What we have is collegiate sports. The one sport, though, that can play in a venue that can bring more than 4,000 people all together on one night is hockey.
When I think of sports teams, I feel like it brings a whole community or a town or even a state together. It's a special knit group, I think, in Alaska, playing on the Alaska hockey team, and that's what I think was one of the best parts. Fortunate to have a team here in Alaska, a very good team, obviously. 2 teams, and part of playing in Alaska is rivalry, the Gov Cup.
I think it's in the fabric of the community that, you know, Fairbanks wants to beat Anchorage at everything, and vice versa with Anchorage beating Fairbanks. So there was times when our players would, you know, be out for dinner the week of the Gov Cup, and, you know, their servers or people dining in the restaurant would be, you know, recognize them, walk over to their table and wish them luck and tell them you better beat those guys, you know, type of thing. So that's what makes it special, is because it's not just about the hockey, it's about the communities and the state of Alaska. So again, it's an exciting thing to be a part of.
One of the first things I noticed when I stepped foot on campus was a lot of the history is kind of laid out over the various buildings on campus. One of our first stops was actually the Carlson Center, and at the time it was set up, it was a vaccination area because it was during kind of the COVID time. And there was a lot of different things in the building that spoke to how much that building itself meant to not just hockey, but the community. And seeing all the players, banners who've, you know, been an All-American or played in the NHL or had some sort of lasting impact as you walk through the locker rooms, and the heritage kind of really spoke volumes.
Fairbanks is a hockey town. The Carlson Center is the 2nd largest arena in Alaska, largest in Fairbanks. It's the city's premier location for events and gatherings. But competitive hockey in Fairbanks has not always been played at the Carlson Center. And the Nanooks have not always been Governor's Cup winners.
Well, the early days of the Governor's Cup, or before that, just the rivalry, before it actually became the Governor's Cup, was lopsided.
The second goal of the period came for the Seawolves, scored by Mike Hiltner.
Anchorage's program was far more advanced than ours. They had so many players from Anchorage that were really good hockey players, so they were advanced. They won a majority of those games early in the rivalry of the programs. As time went on, our program got stronger, and then it became really, each year was a challenge and flip a coin and on who is going to win.
It was our Super Bowl of the year. I mean, playing Anchorage, very intense, very intense. And you know, they would beat us sometimes, we would beat them. It was kind of back and forth.
A little pushing and shoving, extracurricular activity going on between a Seawolf and Chris Lavasser and Kita, I believe, for the Nanooks.
Cam Keith, and listen to this crowd. 4,502 strong, standing room only. Face-off with the Nanook net empty to the side of goaltender Kevin Ryder. You got Keith.
1932 of the third.
All right, play back in. Nanooks have it deep in the zone. Out front shot. They score! And the Nanooks take the lead 4-3. 18 seconds on the clock. Seconds apart in the final half minute as UAF has come from behind to take a 4-3 lead. UA got caught up
Before Alaska was granted statehood, the rivalry began when Alaska Agricultural College and the School of Mines, now the University of Alaska Fairbanks, started a club hockey team back in 1925. The Polar Bears dropped their first ever puck on the frozen Sheena River, which flows through the Golden Heart City. They faced the Fairbanks Town team in a 4-game series. Despite having no coach, they won 3 games. In the early 20th century, Fairbanks and Anchorage often played together until club teams were formed in southern Alaska. So, over the next 48 years, University of Alaska Fairbanks hockey had 18 different coaches, had to pause the program because of World War II, and took home few victories. But everything started to change in the early 1970s.
UAA over the UAF Nanooks 3-1. Brian Beach and Scott Rosellas here with you. Ken Garland will be along in a moment with an interview. But right at the moment, Scott, your reaction or observations of the second period of play?
Head coach Bruce Christensen for the Seawolves got to be pleased going with a 3-1 lead heading into the third period. On the other hand, I'm sure Rick Schaefer is not too happy, and he's going to be letting the team know inside the locker room right now. Nanooks seemed to be a little bit lackluster.
Well, when I first started playing at UAF, we reformed the club team, and we played in a building called the Beluga, which was an air-supported structure. And a few of us players actually did the ice maintenance on it, shoveled inside and hot mopped it. Anchorage had their club team too, and we played them quite a few times. Then eventually in 1979, the administration put us together to be an official club program and actually put some funding into it. And then they hired Rick Schaefer to become the coach of the first NCAA program back in 1980. That was really my last year. And so Rick Schaefer was my first and coach at the NCAA level, and last coach, I guess.
It was a challenge indeed, and this was just a great opportunity for me. Not a hunter or fisherman, that wasn't the main attraction. It was an opportunity to live in another place and be involved with hockey.
I feel strongly about that because Fairbanks, until that time, they did have their men's league team, but I felt that there was room for a college hockey team and some of the good characters that kids can emulate going forward.
I don't think people have realized, the initial coaches, what they had to go through to make it work. The players involved, they loved hockey, so they just wanted to play. The first few years, there wasn't a lot of budget. Even when they hired Coach Schaefer, he was the perfect hire because he was really a master of getting as much money out of what limited budget he had
We rode in vans. We had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We didn't have a lot of stick allotment for guys who break a stick. You better bring it to the coach because you're not getting another one. It was just a fledgling program. It was a startup program.
I used to silk screen in my garage, my wife and I, and we would sell a whole bunch of sweatshirts. So that morning that he was in town, President Reagan, he was in town to see the Pope. They said, you gotta put together a sweatshirt quick. And I did. I silk screened it up and drove it over. And I was stopped by the Secret Service, of course, and I had to explain to them and show them, I'm bringing this to the president. And they presented it to him, and it was a big thrill. It really was fun to see.
You know, Rick was kind of one of the guys. His first head coaching job, and I think he was feeling things out himself, trying to get acclimated as a head coach in college hockey, but he's just one of those guys that you like playing for. He's just a good person. And him and Don made a good combination because Don was, more of a disciplinarian type coach, hard, and he was learning too. So, they were kind of cutting their teeth with this program.
The Seawolves have given up one overtime goal this season, and the Nanooks none. UAF not having been involved in an OT game yet this season.
Well, we had some pretty good players. After 3 years, we've got some pretty good players. And it was hard recruiting. I had to rely on lots of people outside that I trusted in my previous recruiting years, and we got better.
Colvin, shot, take it in! Rice Miller! Beautiful play.
We became more successful, and that, of course, success breeds success too. So that worked in our favor.
By 1983, Fairbanks celebrated program record wins and back-to-back seasons with over 20 victories. To this day, Schaefer holds the program's highest winning percentage amongst coaches. But these wins could not prepare the Nanooks for what college hockey was about to face.
The big change came in 1984 when the NCAA did away with Division II ice hockey. So that forced all the schools that were Division II to make a decision to go either Division III or Division I. Division III was non-scholarship, which wasn't practical in Alaska. Division I was a whole nother dimension financially. The program ultimately went Division I, and the coaches on shoestring budgets did a great job of just getting our name out there. We ended up beating some big programs along the way when we probably had no business being on the ice with teams of that caliber. But that's what makes it fun when you beat a big name program when you're the underdog. And we really probably have always been the underdog.
Good evening, everybody. Bruce Check, joined by Scott Rosellis. And Scott, we have a couple of evenly matched hockey teams scoring off in this big weekend of hockey.
We sure do, Bruce. Both teams come in pretty even across the board statistically. The one factor is Notre Dame's at home, and they've been very good.
Both Alaska schools went Division I in the same year, but as independent hockey programs. The rivalry between Fairbanks and Anchorage now extended to fighting for a seat in a conference.
When the hockey program moved to Division I, we were an independent. There were several college hockey leagues, but most of the leagues are in the Midwest and on the East Coast. So for many, many years, we just played an independent schedule. Anchorage did the same thing. But it was probably, I think, the early 90s when Anchorage got into the WCHA League. That left us kind of on our own. And eventually, a couple years later, the CCHA decided to take Fairbanks in. So that was the first conference we were able to get into in about 1994.
The Nanooks are in the midst of their finest season in the CCHA, and that includes wins at Ohio State and here at Yost in Ann Arbor.
And so we were in that conference, and that's with Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, really so many heavy hitters.
As the Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on the University of Alaska Fairbanks in a struggle for playoff contention in the CCHA.
The two schools, now in separate conferences, no longer played each other during a regular season schedule, which is how the Governor's Cup got its start. Fairbanks saw years of success in the NCAA. Meanwhile, the Governor's Cup trophy went back and forth between the two cities until 2011, when college hockey took a turn for the unknown. The year of the Big Ten. Universities from across the country joined a new conference.
If you have 6 programs, you can have an official conference. So that created a big shift in college hockey to where suddenly there's a new conference. There were programs left behind.
New conferences were formed, old continued to realign, and both Alaska schools eventually joined the new WCHA, marking the first time in history the Nanooks and the Seawolves played in the same conference. But that didn't last for long. In 2019, the WCHA realigned again to geographically closer schools, leaving both UAF and UAA independent hockey programs and again fighting for a conference seat.
We did not have teams come up to play us in the old days, and I think that was the problem 100 years ago, and it's a problem. It's just a challenge today.
I'd say we have to deal with a little bit more adversity.
It's not always easy, taking the red eye and then taking a bus somewhere, not a lot of sleep.
When you're in a conference, you have 8/10 of your schedule done every year. And you get a few non-conference games, and that fills out your schedule for the season. When you're an independent, you have a blank slate every year.
It was interesting during COVID, of course, we had challenges because teams wouldn't come to Alaska because the Canadian border was closed and there was no way during COVID that they could even get their players home. You couldn't fly on airplanes then if you had COVID, and you couldn't drive across the border of Canada. The distance provides a challenge to people, the physical distance, and it seems farther away than it is. They travel a lot. It's a difficult road trip.
There's typically always a shakeup in college hockey conference-wise every, 3 to 5 years, and we're kind of at that 3 to 5 year mark post-COVID where, things are settling in a little bit. But I think the opportunity we have here, and that's why the stars are kind of aligned right now, is that administration is in the right spot, the coaching staff's in the right place, our student athletes are more bought in than ever to making Nanooks athletics, premier across the country, and most specifically, making sure that hockey has a spot to thrive and a place to play and a conference to play in.
You could just pile up a lot of excuses, that'd be pretty easy. But I think we do a really good job of building in that culture that it's fine, we'll face adversity and we'll just overcome it. I think teams recognize that, just how hard we play every night. I think it's a big compliment to our team. It's just crazy how close you get to your teammates. Super easy to play for each other when you love the guys and they're gonna give it right back for you.
An independent program, canceled seasons, through it all ever since the Big Ten was formed in 2011, the Governor's Cup trophy has remained in Fairbanks.
The
big thing that'll always be there and why this program will always make it is just the people. It's why this program's never gone away. It's why it'll never go away. It's why it's gone from a club program and playing outside on, the Chena River to playing in the Carlson Center, and the people here will keep pushing for that, and the people that have come, before me will keep helping me along, and the people that will come after me will help push the torch forward.
Stars of gold on a field of blue, Alaska's flag, may it mean to you. The blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes, and the flowers nearby. The gold of the early sourdough streams, the precious gold of the hills and streams, the brilliant stars in the northern sky, the bear, the dipper, and shining high, the great North Star with its steady light, o'er land and sea, a beacon bright. Alaska's flag to Alaskans dear, a simple flag of the last frontier.
And the Nanooks are back at the Carlson Center for the final game of the Governor's Cup Series. Fairbanks is heating up after UAF beat the Seawolves again last weekend on Saturday with a score of 5-1.
Special night, fellas, for the seniors and for the team too. A chance to win a trophy. Play our game, our pace again. We're going to be all right.
We can wear them down, shift after shift. Okay, let's start stringing them together. Coaches will get the 4-on-4. Let's get the first one. Let's go.
One minute.
The stakes are high tonight. This will be the last game several senior Nanooks will play at the Carlson Center. So it's now or never.
It's all right, we're ready to drop the puck and we're officially underway here at the Carlson Center with Saturday Night Hockey. Just missed the pass there for Petty and Nicolena. Must have been touched, they wave off the icing, so Kripsov's got to play the puck now.
Use those feet.
Battle for the puck, picked up nicely by Braden Burney. Burney and Atchison collide back behind the net. Nanooks trying to kick that puck to the far corner now.
The Nanooks and the Seawolves are leaving the ice scoreless after the first period of play. Both teams are heading into the second period hungry for an advantage.
Manage the puck, we wear them down. Like, the recipe's there. That first 7 minutes, that's the recipe, right, guys? Like, pucks were in behind them, we grinded them down. Okay, the best defense is good offense.
Nanooks kept it in left point position, taken down to the corner, and now they work it out front. They shoot, they score! As the Nanooks will take the 1-0 lead. UAF taking the lead 7 minutes in, but only lasting for over a minute as UAA brought the score to a tie.
Speed! 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 Speed!
Chase Defoe has broke the 1-1 tie. Nanooks will work it out to center ice. Cardona will dish it off with the right wing. Nanooks will carry it back in.
Now as the Nanooks will try to keep it alive. They'll put it right out front. Shoot! So take a 3-1 lead.
And the next goal is huge, right? The next goal is massive, right? Let's find a way to keep pushing to be able to get the next goal.
Puck behind the net now for Gunnar Van Dam. Nanooks with a takeaway right out front there. They put a shot toward the net and it's snared. 10:30 on the board. How much time in a power play?
35 seconds.
quick shot, score. Power play goal, UAA. They've closed within 3-2. Able to battle now. Johnson and teammates will take it away. They shoot, they score, and the Seawolves have just tied up the hockey game at 3-3. Seconds are going to tick down here, and folks, we're going to be going to overtime. So overtime will go.
There's 64, I think, Division I hockey teams. Alaska, for some kids, it's not even on their radar, primarily because of the distance. Really, it's good fits for somebody that wants to come for an experience of a lifetime, really.
This is something where people are able to enjoy, you know, being able to get 4,000 people in the same spot, being able to cheer and yell and be a part of a community, I think, is something that's very unique. It's something that's important for the state. And to make sure that we have future hockey players coming up and going through the ranks and, you know, eventually making it to the highest levels of professional hockey.
When you look at the climate of college hockey, which conference is ready to take us? No one is right yet. So the challenges are trying to get into a league. I think the ideal thing, if it can happen, is if we could get a few more teams on the West Coast, then that could be a really big day for the Alaska schools, because now we play teams that are geographically closer.
It's the one thing I've always learned about the interior of Fairbanks is it's very resilient and very tough, and I think that's what you're seeing from a program that is, you know, fighting and, you know, almost every year to continue to build the roster, to continue to be competitive.
There is a lot more opportunity to draw players who haven't had the experience of the North to come here for college.
We're a dedicated program, and we can compete with anybody in the nation, because I think that's the future ultimately, is that, you know, we can win a national championship if we want to in any given year.
UAF was a really good place for me to develop as an athlete and hockey player, and that helped me get to the next level, the American Hockey League, then eventually to the NHL.
Probably the last spot I thought I'd ever end up, and I absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade this for the world.
We're Nanooks. That's our call, and it's always going to be a big part of our life.
To me, it's a special place. It's kind of a kickstart to my career, essentially, as a hockey player and as a person. I think, not speaking for myself, but for everybody that's played here, I think you grow as a person and a hockey player.
This team will never quit. They play from start to finish, from the start of the game to the end of the game, no matter what the score is. It could be 9-1 us or 9-1 them, but this is a hockey team that will not quit, and you better bring your A game when you're playing the Nanooks on the hockey ice.
The message I'd give them now is the same one I would have given 45 years ago. Do your best. Do your absolute best.
Nanook fans, are you ready for a shootout?
Hopefully they'll pick up that puck. Here comes Jace Defoe. He'll pick it up, takes it wide left. Going to bring it back now toward the middle of the ice with a forehand shot. He's denied by Kristoff. So both teams are 0 for 0 as Defoe stopped and Merritt is stopped.
Glove!
Johnson with a shot there, and he's denied.
Gaffney!
So now the Nanooks here, this is their third winner. They can win it here. So Gaffney can win it as Kyle Gaffney picks up that puck. He scores! The Alaska Nanooks are going to win the game and win their 14th consecutive Alaska Airlines Governor's Cup. They'll make it 22-8 in the 30-year history of this event. So Kyle Gaffney comes down the final shooter of the play.
down. 14 in a row, fellas. Let's celebrate.